So, what is the true purpose of education? It's a question that seems so simple, but it feels more urgent now than ever. And when you look at the answers from philosophers, poets, and modern thinkers, well, they can be profound and honestly surprisingly different from one another. Okay, let's start right here. For Nelson Mandela, education wasn't just about books and classrooms. It was a force, a tool so powerful it could literally reshape societies. And it's that incredible promise that we're going to try to unpack today. But that right there brings up a really crucial distinction. Is the education Mandela was talking about the same thing we get in school? This leads us to our first big idea, the clash between schooling and true education. And you know who just nailed this conflict? Mark Twain. With his classic wit, he suggests that the formal system, what he calls schooling, can actually get in the way of real learning. I mean, think about that. It's such a provocative thought. And you hear echoes of it today when people talk about standardized tests versus, say, creative thinking. Could school actually be an obstacle to becoming educated? So let's really break this down. On one hand, you have schooling. It's often seen as this structured system, right? All about following instructions. But then you have education, and that's framed as something deeply personal. It's more of an awakening, this freedom you have to discover things for yourself. The poet Robert Frost just put it so perfectly. He saw his job not as just being a teacher, someone who just passes on information, but as an awakener. His goal wasn't just to fill an empty bucket, It was to light a fire inside the student. Okay, so if education is this big personal awakening, what's it supposed to awaken in us? Is it all about intellectual knowledge, or is there something more to it? And this really gets to the heart of the matter for us. I mean, what is the ultimate goal here? After all the books are read, all the exams are passed, what's the point? What kind of person is education actually trying to create? Well, if we go way, way back, the philosopher Aristotle gives us a really powerful answer. For him, knowledge without morality or intellect without empathy, it's just incomplete. He's arguing that you have to develop the mind and the heart together. One without the other, that's not real education. And then C.S. Lewis comes along and puts an even sharper, kind of chilling point on it. He suggests that knowledge, when you strip it of values, doesn't just fail to make us better people, it can actually make us more dangerous, a more clever devil. Wow. This all leads to this really beautiful metaphor from Lewis about what an educator's true job is. It's not about hacking down these jungles of ignorance. No, it's about irrigating deserts, nurturing the potential that's already there, and just helping it to bloom. All right, so let's pivot. Let's take all these timeless ideas and connect them to one of the most pressing challenges we have right now. How does this whole vision of education apply to the literal survival of our planet? Let's bring back that Mandela quote, but let's look at it through a really modern lens. If education really is our most powerful weapon, then maybe, just maybe, its most important mission today is aimed squarely at protecting our world. Here, the explorer Robert Swan points to the real enemy, and it's not what you might think. It's apathy. It's that belief that, someone else will take care of it. So the whole point of sustainability education isn't just to share facts, it's to empower people, to break down that apathy and get us to take personal action. And I love this proverb because it just completely reframes our entire relationship with the planet. It's not something we own, it's a loan from the future. And that makes the mission for education crystal clear, doesn't it? It has to give us the knowledge and the values to be responsible borrowers. So what does this actually look like in practice? If we're going to use education to irrigate the desert and cultivate a sustainable world, what are the key principles we need to follow? So what are we talking about here? It's not just one single class. It's a whole approach. It's about empowering students to actually do something, inspiring a commitment that lasts a lifetime, cultivating hope and resilience, and really getting us to think critically about the finite resources we all depend on. This quote is just such a simple but powerful metaphor for what the goal is. This is a long-term investment. The lessons we teach today are like seeds, and hopefully they'll grow into this forest of positive action tomorrow. It's all about cultivation. As we start to wrap this up, let's just consider this really powerful thought from Thomas Paine. It speaks to the irreversible nature of true education. Once a mind is genuinely opened, awakened, It changes your perspective for good. You can't unsee the world in a new way. And that brings us right to the final and, I think, most essential question. If true education really does give us this light of awareness, what are we going to choose to do with it? The choice and the responsibility that comes with it is ours.